Welcome back to Going Walkabout. We've been here in Playa del Carmen for about 2 months now. It's a city of about 300,000 people, and it's fastly becoming one of the most popular cities to visit in the Riviera Maya area. So in this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of being here in Playa del Carmen and why it's becoming so popular. Stay till the end and I'll let you know if we're going to stay another month or not. We're going to start with the pros. There are 7. I want to give a disclaimer up front. There are birds here that have learned to mimic cell phones, so if you hear some cell phone sounds, it's the birds. Okay, number 1, we have cultural diversity. And normally when you come to places in Mexico, you hear a lot of Canadians and Americans talking. Here in Playa del Carmen, you hear every kind of language you can imagine just walking up and down Fifth Avenue. You hear German, French, so it's a very multicultural environment, which is really nice. In fact, my hairdresser is actually from the Netherlands, and ergo there's a lot of different groups here in Playa del Carmen for different subsets of people from different areas. So there's a French group, there's a Netherlands group where you can get together and talk with your own folks. And I'm told that you can find all this on Facebook, so if you want to go that direction, you might be able to look up a group that is commiserate to where you're from. At number 2, we have something that's really important to us, and that's that Playa del Carmen is walkable. It's a very walkable city. As long as you get within about a half mile of Fifth Avenue, you're going to be able to walk to pretty much all of the restaurants, which is wonderful. You'll be able to walk to Chedwari, which is a huge grocery store, so that's terrific. For us, this is really important because when we stay in a place, we don't want to have a rental car, so being able to walk everywhere is huge. And that includes being able to walk to the beach, as well as I just walked to my dentist, which was 2 blocks up from where we're staying the other week. So all of that's really convenient. To not have to worry about a rental car, and it makes the day much more enjoyable. At number 3, we have something that is, I'm surprised that I have to mention this, but the beaches are free. Now, if you know Mexico, you know that all of the beaches are public places in Mexico, which means everybody should be able to enjoy them. What's happening in Tulum and Cancun is that many of the day beach clubs and hotels are building so close to each other that it leaves no access to the beach area for the locals. So the beaches aren't really public anymore in those areas. They're very much just for who's ever paying to use those amenities for the day. Whereas here in Playa del Carmen, they have several areas with beach access for everybody. Now the beaches are more crowded because of that, but it's free access to everybody. Avenue 72 is one of the ones that people use a lot. But certainly the nice thing is that you have full access to all the beaches in Playa del Carmen, which is wonderful. Here we are at number 4, and that is great food diversity. So I love Mexican food, can eat it almost 7 days a week, but if I want something different, here in Playa del Carmen, you can get it. They have great Italian restaurants, they have Indian restaurants, great French restaurants, believe it or not, and French pastries. So it's really nice to be able to have a lot of food diversity here. Also, they have a ton of restaurants, and that's to fit every pocketbook. So if you want dining on tablecloths, they've got that. But if you want toes in the sand, they've got that too. We have found that cost-wise, you can absolutely find things that are very affordable. And could you eat off of, let's say, $100 US a week? I think you could. Certainly from a lot of the taco establishments and breakfast, for instance, you can get $10 per person breakfast, whereas where we live, it would be $30 per person. So I think that the food scene here is fantastic and well worth exploring. At number 5, we have something that I get asked about all the time, and that is Mexico safe? And yes, Mexico is safe. However, Playa del Carmen is actually ranked one of the safest cities in all of Mexico, and I'll put the actual map up here. We've been here, like I say, for 2 months, and we've had no problems with any kind of theft, no problems with scams or anything of that sort. Everybody's been very friendly and very honest, so we've really enjoyed that. At number 6, we have something that is really important to us, and that's that it feels like a big city, but it's really a small town, and that's wonderful. It's got all the amenities of a big city. You've got great restaurants, lots of places that you can go and visit. They've got great shows that you can sign up for and see, like Cirque du Soleil. This weekend, they're holding a world volleyball tournament, and it's fantastic. It's wonderful to see, and they've done a great job with it. So they've got the big city stuff, but where it feels like a small town is that when you go walking every day, you often see many of the same people, and so there's that feeling of community, which is really nice. And for those of us that are doing slow travel and staying in a place longer, it's nice to have the souvenir shops and those kind of clothing that you buy when you're on holiday, but sometimes you need things that you would wear just for normal life, and they have the shops for that here too. So they've got Zara for men and women, they have H&M for men and women, they've got Mango's. So they've got regular stores, which makes it nice for people that are living here more long term. And that is a great segue into number 7, which I believe that Playa del Carmen is a wonderful place for a short-term or a long-term stay. And that's because if you're here for a short term, let's say a week, there's so much to do. You can take the ferry over to Cozumel, you can go snorkeling, you can go to the beach every day. There's all the different places to try, restaurants and everything on Fifth Avenue. So you're gonna be really busy no matter what. Or visit cenotes, on and on and on, right? If you're here like we are, slow travelers, or you're staying for a longer term, it's really nice as well, because you have places like Merida that are only 2 hours away, Cancun, about an hour and a half away. So you have a lot of places that you can go for day trips. So if you're here for several weeks, you can literally plan on taking a different trip each week. Not to mention there's Chichen Itza, there's the ruins at Cozumel. So there's just a ton to do, and I think that makes it a wonderful location. Okay, now for the cons. There's only 4, so we'll get through them pretty quickly. The first one is the Sargasso seaweed, and that is something they can't do a lot about because it's been happening forever. They do have cleaning crews here in this time of year, which is kind of their high season, where they clean the Sargasso. If there's a lot of it in the water, it does make it difficult to swim in, and you kind of don't want to because there's some kind of different things in the Sargasso seed that can cause irritation to your skin. So kind of one of the only downsides, but they manage it really well. Okay, number 2, we have rainy season, and they have this all over the coastal areas of Mexico, so this is not unique. But from May to November, it's the rainy season, and it gets about 10 degrees hotter every day. So right now it's around 82 during the day. It'll probably be more around 92 during the rainy season. And then you also have the rain, which would usually come in the afternoon. That creates a high humidity. So you've got super high humidity and then rain. I have talked to several locals and they don't like it. So it must be pretty uncomfortable. Many of them go on vacation at that time. So it's something to consider if you're planning a trip here. At number 3, we have rising prices, and we have found this all over Mexico, so this is not unique. As Playa del Carmen becomes more popular, it is going to have pricing more commensurate to areas like Tulum and Cancun. Currently, I believe accommodation here is still less than Tulum and Cancun, but certainly from what I've heard, it has gone up. I've heard that food prices, most people feel, are similar to Cancun. When you compare it to the Pacific coast, to Puerto Vallarta, we're noticing that our accommodation is pretty much in the same wheelhouse as the accommodation that we would normally get in Puerto Vallarta. And we usually pay something between $75 to maybe $115 a night for accommodation. So it's kind of within that wheelhouse. Okay, number 4 con, and that is unfinished infrastructure. You do see a lot of buildings that, where they began a project and they didn't finish it. You also have a lot of like telephone wires and electrical wires that are kind of dangling, and there's a bit of a rat's nest with those. Certainly, as most people know, you cannot drink the water here. So that's something that could use some upgrading at some stage, and then the sewage systems also. It would mean that if you're here during the rainy season, you want to be careful because most of that stuff is going to get washed out to the ocean, and you might be more susceptible to getting some kind of a sickness due to that. So it's something to keep in mind. So there's a lot more positives to Playa del Carmen than negative, and that is the reason why, drum roll, we are going to be staying another month. And we've in fact got another condo that we're staying in. It's actually 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. We're really excited about it because it actually has a view of the ocean, which this one did not. And so we'll be staying another month here. We really like it, and I think a lot of people would find that they like it too. There's a lot of diversity and things to do here. Thanks so much for watching today. If you've enjoyed the video, a thumbs up really helps the channel a lot. Or better yet, subscribe. We do a new video every week. So we will see you next week. Cheers for now.